Happy Friday, everyone. We got some great news on the labor market front. The September jobs and unemployment report came out, and the unemployment rate ticked down to 4.1%. And then the job gains for September came in at 254,000 compared to 150,000 expected. This is much stronger than anticipated, and the unemployment rate ticking down is very huge for the labor market and the economy. As a result, interest rate cuts are starting. The number of interest rate cuts by the end of the year is starting to tick down a little bit. And a 25 basis point cut is fully priced in, not a 50 anymore. Why do you need a 50? You don't need a 50 if the labor market and the economy is humming along. This on top of for July and August, those job gains were revised up by 72,000, shows that this labor market is still strong. What hard landing? I would argue, if anything, this is a soft landing or perhaps even a no landing. This is a 1995 soft landing scenario where the Fed cut rates into a soft landing economy that had a good backdrop of technology and innovation, and the economy did very well all throughout the 90s. I think we're in a similar situation right now. On top of that, wage gains came in at 4% year over year, higher than expected. This is very important. While wage gains are up, inflation is at least the rate of increase of inflation is going down. So this is good news. In fact, this jobs and unemployment report might be a little bit too strong because it makes the Fed's job a little bit harder. But I think the Fed ultimately wants the labor market to still be strong while inflation goes down. But either way, this is great news. This on top of the port strike and dock workers suspending their strike at least until January 15th to give them time to negotiate a new arrangement. That was announced last night. So that's great news because the economy was losing up to $5 billion a day due to that strike. Although it was only 3 days, you were starting to see some shortages in supermarkets, especially for things like toilet paper, etc. Even though a lot of our toilet paper is made in the U.S., a lot of people were scared about the supply chain issues, but luckily that's no longer an issue right now. They're suspending the strike until January 15th to give them time to negotiate a new arrangement. I think that's great. So that combined with this blockbuster jobs and unemployment report, this shows that we're, in my opinion, we're in a soft to more likely even a no landing. The Fed's cutting rates into a good economic environment. And when the Fed does that, the market does really well. I don't see a recession in the near-term horizon. Obviously, in a few years, that might be a different story. I see some weakness probably at the end of the decade, maybe 2029, 2030. But until then, I think we're in the second or third inning of this massive bull run, and I see a lot of similarities in the economy as the mid-90s, especially with the technology backdrop. But this jobs and unemployment report number leaves me pretty optimistic.